Hey, it's Thanksgiving Day in Lambertville, New Jersey, my home, and I'm feeling the spirit of Thanksgiving. So I thought I would read you all a little piece from that I wrote for my book, Notes for a New Age, and it's about the theme of friendship, which I think is a big deal, at least for me, on Thanksgiving. Because for me, what I really have, one of the main things I have to be thankful for is the quality of my friends over the course of almost 7 decades on planet Earth. So here goes on friendships. There are Brian and Barbara, who disappeared into Central America, Frank M., who writes me regularly from Japan, Irena, who writes occasionally from Holland, and Bruce, Randall, and Jeffrey. They don't have to write as much, as each lives within a mile from my door. There are so many others that I could name. These people who indulge me, treasure me, and call me friend. And since the theme of this Thanksgiving season is relationships, it seems as good a time as any to honor them and to tell them that their presence in my life has made me as rich as any king. Andrew, a friend and mentor who vanished somewhere into the northwestern quadrant, used to have an acronym on his door that spelled out his interpretation of the importance of friendship. For right in every deed. F for right, R, I, every noble deed. Spells friend, it said. Each season, as I grow older, the phrase takes on a deeper meaning. More than political causes or money or fame, each year I learn anew that friendship matters more. Pir Vilayat Inayat Khan, the leader of the Sufi order of the West, once wrote that the attainment of spiritual freedom implies the systematic severance of all human bonds, with one exception: the friend, whom Khan called the most precious treasure on earth. There are those that think that the bonds of bloodline are more important or sacred than that of friendship. Blood, as the saying goes, is thicker than water. With that cliche, I beg to differ. The unfortunate downside of bloodline is inbredness, in which provincialism often breeds. Choosing friends, on the other hand, is inherently expansive. Freely given acts of friendship tend to lift us, while those that spring from familial obligation often tend to hold us down. Every friendship has a different dynamic. All involve the creation of a third presence that has life and character apart from that of the individuals involved. In the best of friendships, a noble alchemy occurs, which demonstrates the truth of the maxim that the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. As the third presence develops, resonates, and is given life, each of the two individuals receives nurturance of qualities that would otherwise lay dormant and stillborn. Of the types of friendships I've experienced, the ones I've especially appreciated are the ones that have blossomed out of unease, distrust, or even hostility. In those instances, it is as if myself and the other were able to see past our early differences and perceive the form of the third presence, which would help us grow beyond the limits of personality. In one of my friendships that followed this pattern, our early history was such that neither of us could stand to be in the same room with the other without a third neutral party who would serve to absorb the edge between us. Recognizing this, I and the other person spent an afternoon alone clearing our differences. Since that time, our friendship has endured and grown strong. The other type of friendship, one which involves a flow that is always and has been easy, is likewise valuable. But the first kind, so I believe, inherently involves more growth. It is as if the history of discord has strengthened the character of the third presence. It knows that it can endure criticism from either of its members and knows the limitations of the kind of status quo that resists growth and change. One of friendship's main values is that it delivers us from the prison of ourselves and the sense of the importance of our individual personal dramas. It teaches us to love others as ourselves and to do so selflessly without any thought of compensation. I remember being moved, for example, by how one friend followed a late night conversation between our two cities with a 1,000-mile drive in a rented car through rain and snow. And how other friends, when I visited them in the country in which they lived, dropped everything they were doing in their lives to share me the beauties of their country, their Spain, which I otherwise would have never seen. I could go on and on with such instances from my personal life, but I'm sure you have your own examples. Through experiences such as these, I've learned something of the boundless quality of love. What's more, I learned that I too can give in much the same manner, for no other reason than because of friendship. The spirit of friendship and of giving has been wonderfully expressed in the saying, 1 grain, 10,000 grains. Any grain gives life to hundreds and thousands of grains. As applied to human life, the saying means that if anyone gives you something of value as a sign of gratitude, you should be prepared to give it forward 10,000 times as much in return. Friendship helps us learn the spirit of giving. So I hope this piece of prose warms your heart on this Thanksgiving or whenever you hear it, and that you may play forth gratitude. If you're interested in reading much of my work, you can buy the book on Amazon, Notes for a New Age. Peace and love. Angelo out.